Welcome inside Children's Arena in Oshawa, the 11th game of the season for both the Toronto Monarchs and Oshawa Outlaws about to get underway. I'm Dan Malta on the call this evening. The two teams coached by Joe Hiltz for the Oshawa Outlaws and Nick Krepsek for the Toronto Monarchs. The officials for this evening's game, Alex Wagner, Eddie Fines, and Corton Black-Arangio. Now in between the net for the Monarchs will be Joel Watson. 4 games played this season, a record of 1-1-0-1, a 15.07 goals against average, and a .719 save percentage for the Outlaws. Lane Hrushka, 3 games played, 2-1 record, 14.27 goals against average, and a .761 save percentage. This is the second meeting of the season between these two teams. Have to go back to January 18th for the last time they met. That was in Oakville. A 19-9 win for Oshawa. These two teams 5-6 in the most recent power rankings, both having a record of 4-6, with Oshawa on a 2-game winning streak right now, in Toronto coming off a loss against Brampton 18-7 in that one. Off the opening draw, Haig wins it back, and the Outlaws have possession going forward, but it's quickly collected by the Monarchs. Brought up the near side wall, Thompson takes a look back. And the Monarchs are set up on offense. Pfeiffer works it around up to the top of the house, dishes it off. That shot blocked by the Outlaws. They grab the ball, and they'll work it back up the floor. Ryan Nolan carries it ahead, sends it across. Whiteford with the shot, stopped and played ahead to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer holds onto the ball, falls back into the corner, kicks it up to the top of the zone. Gets it right back. Now there's a shot handled by Hrushka. As he collects that one, both teams get their changes in. Oshawa on the attack now. St. John dishes it up top. He's leading the way in scoring for the Outlaws with 70 points this season. Third in the Arena Lacrosse League. There's St. John with a great chance on the doorstep. That stop, reset of the shot clock as the Outlaws maintain possession in the offensive zone. Controlled up top, sent back into the corner. Near side, Catoni slips it through. St. John gets knocked down to the floor trying to take that pass. Thompson back the other way. Patrick Thompson makes a move to the middle, shot stopped by Hrushka. And the rebound comes all the way back near center floor. It's collected by the Monarchs. Back on the attack in the offensive zone, Menzies. Cody Menzies snaps it across the zone. Looking for a shot far side. Hrushka stops it right on the goal line. It's pulled away, brought back up the floor. James Whiteford. St. John scores. Whiteford to St. John, quick strike goal. And that gives the Outlaws an early lead here. It's 1-0, opening the scoring. James Whiteford was the second star last time these two teams played, picking up 4 goals and 2 assists. Austin Blumbergs had 3 goals and 4 assists to be the first star, and then Parker Pfeiffer with 2 goals and 4 assists, picking up the third star in that meeting. Where Oshawa got out to a 6-2 lead in the first and then just never looked back. Kept it coming the entire game, and yeah, 19-9 really tells the story there. Monarchs bring it ahead. Innes up for Pfeiffer. Sends it back. There's a shot missing just wide. Collected by Oshawa. Quick up the floor. Haig to the net. Bouncer controlled by Watson. Turns it up quickly to Pfeiffer. Parker Pfeiffer works it into the middle. Coming off a screen. Back in front. There's a great save from Haig. Oshawa grabs the rebound and brings it ahead. Luke Maloney crosses the timeline, dishes it off to Alex Simmons, then fires it near side. And Oshawa brings it to the middle, looking for a shot. They'll dish it back into the corner, bring it back up into a shooting position, stopped by Watson. And back down the floor it goes. The pass just out of the reach of Peyton Wallace, but he runs onto it, collects the ball in the corner, sends it back up top. Heidecker sends it across the zone. McKenna drops it off in the corner now. Oshawa trying to press it back out of the zone. The Monarchs 8 seconds on the shot clock. There's a shot through a screen from Peyton Wallace. Blocked a little bit there by the Outlaws, and it deflects wide of the net. Bouncer up the floor from Veltman. Connects with Tate Katoni. Plays it back up to St. John. Now Haig. Down to Katoni, out of the corner. Looking for a lane. Pass through. Haig with the shot. Stopped by Watson. And it's gathered up by Toronto. Thompson lets his team get their changes in. Offensive set out on the floor for the Monarchs. Jesso, near side Thompson. Back up top it goes. There's a shot handled by Hrushka. Rebound being battled over in the slot, and it's grabbed by Oshawa. Ryan Haig drops the ball off. Tate Katoni stepping in, shooting. That one missing just wide, bouncing up the floor. And fast break here for Toronto. Chris Harland in all alone. Harland shoots, stopped by Hrushka. Rebound grabbed by Toronto. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Back the other side, a chance in front. Hrushka, another big save. And it's going to be Oshawa ball. Strozier carries it into the zone, dishes it off. It's Whiteford. Back to the wall. Brought up top. Across the zone. Shot stopped by Watson. Rebound into the corner. Collected by Oshawa. A battle down there as Ryan Nolan settles it down. Finds St. John up top. Whiteford near side. Looking for St. John to flip one through. Uses the screen. Making a move to the net. Whiteford sends a shot wide. St. John battling for it. He's got it in front. Another shot goes wide. Just 1 second on the shot clock. Big collision. A pair of big collisions. As both Simons and Kaminga got their licks in there. Dunkerley works it into the zone, back to Pfeiffer. He's pressed up top, spins away from Nick Webb. Played down low, shot stopped. And Hrushka battling to just pull this one back into his crease. He's got some help, but coming up with the ball is Toronto as they were changing, so they'll hustle to get back into the zone. The ball jammed up in the corner, and it's going to be Outlaws ball. Veltman runs it across center. Takes a look near side, finds a man. Gareth Haig back up top to St. John. Katoni in the corner. Makes a move, works back outside, looks to the top of the zone. Veltman off a screen to the net. Shot bounces wide up into the rafters. So the Monarchs will collect it and work the ball up the floor. Thompson scanning the floor, looking for an outlet, decides to go down to the corner. Brought back up to the top of the house. Jesso, far side, that pass in and out of the stick of Buck. He collects it, sends it across the seam for Thompson. That's off his stick, and the Outlaws will bring the ball to center. Ryan Haig has St. John down low, or pardon me, that's Gareth Haig. Off a screen. Plays it across the zone. Ryan Haig with the shot. That's off a shoulder out of play. But off of a Monarchs player. The official's just going to confer here, confirm who it went off of. Yes, that was off of the Monarchs defender. Katoni at the top of the zone to Gareth Haig. He's just going to dart to the net. Haig scores. It's waved off. Stepping in the crease. Strong drive still from Haig to get to that net and use his feet. As the Monarchs bring it back the other way. Pfeiffer down to the corner. He'll move to the net, opening up some space. Menzies zips it across the floor. Pass missing the mark, and the Outlaws quickly bring it across center, not wasting any time advancing the ball. Whiteford back for St. John. Whiteford in the corner. Fakes to the net, circles back, switches off with Katoni and sends it across. Bouncer misses wide. That's into the rafters. Monarchs will gather themselves while the Outlaws get their changes in. Devin Dunkerley starting with the ball, sending it up the floor. Thompson near side wall. Into the far corner. Pass back through. Pfeiffer trying to find a shooting lane. Check closely. Zips one wide of the net, and that's going to bounce back across the timeline. Collected by Catoni. He's got Whiteford with him, setting a screen. Catoni's shot off the end boards. Collects the rebound. That one stopped by Watson. The Monarchs are back up about midway through the first quarter. Ennis steps in, steps out, darts to the net, spins away from a check, no shooting lane. Now one opens up, stopped by Hrushka, and grabbed by Oshawa. Joe Hill's telling his team to push it up the floor. They do exactly that, but that pass in and out of the stick of Jake Gilmore. Collected by Gilmore, near side. Geddes zips a shot on net. Watson kicks it into the corner. 15 on the shot clock for Oshawa. There's a shot bouncing wide. St. John collects it near side. 10 seconds to work with. Over the shoulder pass finds Catoni into the middle. Catoni with the shot. Watson with the save. Monarchs come up with the rebound and bring it back the other way. Kuminga drops the ball off. Sets a screen for Pfeiffer. Back to Kuminga in front. What a save from Hrushka. And the Outlaws are going to turn it up the floor with pace. Andrioli loses the ball briefly, gathers it, and tries to drop it off. But the wires crossed there with Maloney, sent far side. A battle along the boards. It's stolen by Toronto, quickly brought ahead. Aethier drops it off for Gesso. Now Pfeiffer walking out of the corner, trying to find an outlet here. And there's a chance in front. What a collision. It's crashing the net there was Cohen Jennings. Lane Hrushka stood his ground. And we'll be right back. 5:25 to go here in the opening quarter between Oshawa and Toronto. .525 to go here in the opening quarter. And the Outlaws come up with a power play after that. Cohen Jennings went hard to the net. Lane Hrushka stood his ground. But Jennings in the box. Oshawa on the power play. Whiteford to St. John. Working it around the zone, keeping things on the perimeter. St. John operating at the top of the house. Whiteford switches off. Creates some space there, trying to find a shot from up top, but go into the corner for Tate Catoni. Catoni back to St. John. Backpedaling, looking for a lane. Drops it off. Simon scores. Beating Watson with the underhand shot. That makes it 2-0 Oshawa. Just 26 seconds to strike on the power play. Coming up with the ball off the draw, Heidecker, and sends it across the zone. Chris Harlan wheeling to the net. Shot stopped by Hrushka. He just squeezes that one, holds on. Leaves it for Ryan Haig. Quick up the floor, Andrioli. Andrioli drops the ball off. Gets his change in here. Jake Gilmore plays it into the corner. Brought up top, Gareth Haig. He's pressed, drops the ball off. Near side, Catoni. Quick stutter step, opens up, shoots, stopped by Watson. And Toronto will turn it back up the floor. Thompson. A theme, bringing the ball up this near side wall. Dishing it off to Parker Pfeiffer. Leading Toronto in scoring this season. With 62 points to this date. There's a quick shot handled by Hrushka. Veltman. Listening to his bench, turning it up the floor with pace. St. John back across. Veltman can't collect the ball. Watson grabs it off the end boards, plays it ahead. Parker Pfeiffer scoops the ball, snaps it back. quick shot in front. Hrushka, another save. That one just barely stayed out as he got his feet on it. Ball up to the timeline. And Oshawa's got some time to work with here. Still 16 seconds on the shot clock after they collect the ball. Maloney pressing Pfeiffer. He kicks it back. Innes with a bouncer. That's handled by Hrushka. And another chance for Oshawa to get out of the zone. They can't do so. Innes wins the race. McKenna. 14 seconds on the shot clock as he plays it to the far side boards. Brought back up to the top. Pfeiffer shooting 5 holes. Scores. And the Monarchs are on the board. As Tanner Buck fed that one across to Parker Pfeiffer. 3:16 to go here in the opening quarter. Really tight contest so far. Remember last time that they met on January 18th, at the end of the first quarter, it was 6-2 Outlaws. Just 2-1. Here with 3:16 to go in the quarter. Heidecker peels the ball away on the draw, but it works out for Oshawa. Whiteford scanning the floor, awaiting the changes. Ryan Haig now heading off as Gareth Haig steps on, grabs the ball from Whiteford. Back up to the top of the zone, Tate Gattoni. Back into the corner. Whiteford in front, slides one to the net, stopped by Watson. He turns it out quickly. Thompson grabs that one with one hand. Thompson in solo, stopped by Hrushka. Ball goes into the corner, grabbed by Buck. Pfeiffer plays it down low, darts to the net. There's a shot, long range from Jennings, stopped by Hrushka. Thompson winding up, faking, shooting. Rebound controlled, Hrushka, 2:20 to go here in the opening quarter. Pass ahead, finds Whiteford. He's got an outlet, he's just gonna go to the net and shoot. Watson squeezes his legs and holds on. Stuck in the shin pad. Devin Dunkerley plays it up the floor to Menzies, near side Pfeiffer. Back up to the top of the zone. Buck bumps, dishes, Pfeiffer with the bouncer. Collected by Menzies, he slides that one wide of the net. Calling for it up the floor is Ryan Haig. Grabs the pass, Haig. Waits for a screen, gets it and tries to play it through. Gilmore loses the ball there. Stolen by Toronto. Battersby. Pressed, moved to the net, shot, handled by Hrushka. Rebound goes into the near corner. Just a minute and a half to play here. In the opening quarter, Gilmore into the corner. Gattoni works it into the middle. Gattoni trying to look for a shot through traffic. Goes up to St. John. St. John backpedaling as he sends it across the floor. Gattoni in a shooting position, stopped by Watson. That one looked to be going wide. Watson grabbed it with the stick, resets the shot clock. Gattoni working off the wall in front. Gilmore's shot goes wide. St. John grabs it at the side of the net, and that pass picked by Kuminga. He's got a man with him. Worked ahead in solo, and Hrushka stops McKenna. The rebound is grabbed by Kuminga. He tried to dunk it from in behind. An awkward collision there. Quick up the floor in transition. Whiteford finds St. John. Gareth Haig. Back up to the top, looking for Simons. Ball bounces off a pair of players, and it's ahead to Thompson. Thompson from Dunkerley in solo, stopped once again. Hrushka playing incredible in the opening quarter. And with more shot clock than time left in the quarter, Hrushka on the bench. Extra runner on the floor for Oshawa. Whiteford sends it across. There's a shot from Simons. That misses wide. 3.2 seconds on the clock. Sending Hrushka back to the net. Some urgency required here from both teams, and they score. Tanner Buck using his speed to run onto that ball and just get it past Hrushka, who was not yet set in the crease. That ties it up with 1.7 seconds to go in the quarter. So we'll have what is essentially a ceremonial face-off here. That does it for the opening quarter. 2-2 the score. We'll be back for the second. We're back for the start of the second quarter here between Oshawa and Toronto. Both teams 4-6. Oshawa coming off a pair of wins. The Monarchs coming off of a loss. The goal scorers in the opening quarter, Tanner Buck and Parker Pfeiffer for the Toronto Monarchs, John St. John and Alex Simons for the Outlaws. That loss for Toronto, 18-7 against Brampton. Brampton on a 5-game winning streak right now, so nobody's really able to stop them. Still second in the standings behind the Whitby Steelhawks as Buck works around the top of the zone, goes to the crease hard and scores. Tanner Buck showing off his footwork once again. Pure speed for his first goal and speed in tight for his second. That makes it 3-2 Monarchs. And on the floor right now for the Monarchs, Peyton Wallace. He was acquired from Brampton for Lucas Ferreira. Back on the 15th. St. John works the ball down into the corner. Heads to the net, opens up some space. As the Outlaws bring it to the top of the house. There's a great shot to shoot from for Whiteford, but it's handled by Watson. Nolan turns it back where it came from, brought up to the top of the zone, St. John. Dishes it into the corner. Gareth Haig tries to bounce one through. That goes wide of the net. Just 6 seconds on the shot clock. St. John grabs it in the corner. 3 seconds, gets his shot off, but it's held onto by Watson. Kaminga up for Jennings. Jennings trots into the zone. He and McKenna working off one another. Played down low, Pfeiffer, he's pressed, the ball bounces free. Grabbed by Oshawa, but the battle continues in the corner. Won by the Outlaws, here's Veltman. Across the timeline, looking back towards his own bench. Gets a pass through to Gilmore. Down low, Tate Katoni. Works it up top, dishes it through, a chance in tight, stopped by Watson. As he robs Aiden O'Toole right on the doorstep. Back the other way, collected by the Outlaws. Ryan Nolan for John St. John. St. John utilizing a screen. He's got some space to work with up top. Plays it back into the corner and heads to the net. Gareth Haig into traffic, bounces it towards the net. Wasson collects it and turns it up the floor. McKenna has Thompson with him, getting back out there and breaking up that chance was Jake Strozier. Harris for Toronto finds Buck. Tanner Buck, a pair of goals already here. Scoring the second and third for Toronto. There's a shot sent wide of the net by Gesso. 10 seconds on the shot clock as Oshawa has the Monarchs hemmed in, down low in the zone. Now the ball comes free to the wall. Gesso back in behind the net. Almost tucking that one home was Pfeiffer. Great stick there from Harlan. Steal the puck from Stroshak. Back the other way. Numbers for Toronto. There's a shot sent wide of the net by Merrick Lemmy. Over and back called there. Oshawa ball. Nolan. Zips a pass through. Simons had a chance at the top of the crease. Stopped by Watson. And Toronto turning it up the floor quickly again. That one over the head of Thompson. He couldn't corral it. So Veltman grabs it for the Outlaws and brings the ball ahead. Veltman off to Katoni. Back in front. St. John shot in tight off the shoulder of Watson into the corner. Loose ball scooped up by Lemmy. Lemmy angles in, sends it across. There's a shot from Pfeiffer, held on to by Hrushka. Quickly up to Connell. Connell cuts into the middle. Doesn't have a lane to the net, so he angles it back off towards the wall. Whiteford into the corner, St. John. Offensive set out there for the Outlaws. St. John out of the corner, fakes a shot, kicks back out. St. John drops it off down low. Haig through the seam. That one's out of the reach of Whiteford. Simons in the corner with 3 seconds to work with. And it'll be turned over to Toronto. Harland sends a pass across the zone, heads off for a change. McKenna scans the floor, looks left, looks right, finds Buck in the corner, back up top, Innes. He switches off, brought back up top. McKenna looking through, intercepted, back the other way. Andrioli, he's just putting the foot on the gas pedal, trying to get down the floor. Trips up, holds on. And we've got a penalty coming up here. Looks like Andrioli is going to get 2 and a misconduct. So we'll 4 minutes up on the board. Great chance for the Monarchs to change the complexion of this contest. Buck works it up top, played back across. Toronto really collapsing down low, trying to get a chance in tight. Pfeiffer over the shoulder pass, and then a shot misses wide, goes into the corner. That was Ty Gesso with the opportunity. Gesso switches off with Pfeiffer, trying to play it back into the corner. A race onto that one. Innes collects it. Shot stopped and held on to by Hrushka. Nolan brings it up the floor. Taking a look back, finds Ryan Haig far side, Veltman near side, down low it's Gilmore. Jake Gilmore works off of Tate Katoni. Flips it through, Katoni in tight. Whips one wide of the net, the ball bouncing around in the slot. Now Nolan should be able to grab it here, just 2 seconds on the shot clock, so they'll just dump it into the zone. Thompson carries the ball across center. Drops it off, 2:50 to go on the power play. Gesso to Pfeiffer, in behind the net. Near side Buck, back up top Jennings. Gesso, top of the house, finds Jennings, they switch off. Down low Buck, sends it back through the seam. Grabbed by Pfeiffer, back to Buck. There's a shot stopped by Hrushka. Veltman quick on the ball in the corner. He flips it up and out of danger. And it's brought up by Oshawa. They've nearly killed the first 2. If they can just maintain possession and run out this shot clock, they'll take care of the first 2 minutes of this PK. Simons cutting through, looking for a pass. Held on to by Whiteford. He's got no reason to make a move to the net, just trying to kill some time here. Whiteford, 3 seconds, shoots. Resets the shot clock, and it's just 2 minutes remaining in the kill for the Outlaws as Thompson carries it ahead. Buck back up to the top of the zone, Pfeiffer. Jennings to Pfeiffer. Into the corner, chance in front. Jennings stopped by Hrushka, rebound into the corner. Cody Innes back up top. Pfeiffer takes the pass, finds Buck near side. Pfeiffer looking to shoot, underhand shot, handled by Hrushka. Reset on the clock, Pfeiffer with it once again. Pass into the corner, misses the mark. Gesso jumps onto it and finds Pfeiffer. 12 seconds to work with on the shot clock. Pfeiffer inching in closer to the net. Back to Buck. Twister on net. Stopped by Hrushka. And the Outlaws will bring it ahead. The bench urging them to push it up the floor. And Geddes does exactly that. Veltman to Katoni. St. John controlling the ball in the corner. Carries it up, takes a shot. That's off the shin pad of Watson, out of play. So will remain Oshawa ball. Full 20 back on the 20 back on the shot clock. Veltman to St. John to Katoni in the corner. 13 seconds to work with, another 46 to kill. In front, Simons, ball in and out of his stick. Collected by Toronto. Kaminga puts his hand out to urge everybody to settle down, settle down. Should be the final possession of their power play. Toronto hoping to capitalize here as they work it from in behind the net. Jennings to Pfeiffer. Shot blocked by Nolan right in the hand. That one hurt. Jesso takes a shot, stopped by Hrushka. Rebound grabbed by Nolan. He'll send it ahead for Webb. 10 seconds remaining in the kill. Webb just has a lane to the net, dishes it off. Gilmore scores shorthanded. And to cap off a solid penalty kill, the Oshawa Outlaws tie things up with just 5 seconds remaining in it. First of the game for Jake Gilmore. Ryan Haig and Ben Heidecker once again on the draw. Heidecker comes up with it, darts towards his own bench, then flips it across the zone. Jennings. He'll allow his team to complete their changes before making any moves. Now back across the zone as we are 5-on-5 once again. In the corner to the net. Ball brought loose, but another penalty going against Oshawa. Hold. It's going to be James Whiteford heading to the box. And when we come back, the Toronto Monarchs will be on another power play with 5:56 to go in the half. $5:56 to go in the first half here between Oshawa and Toronto. We are all tied up at threes. The Monarchs looking to change that here as they're on a power play as James Whiteford is in the box for 2 or less. Parker Pfeiffer walks the ball in, drops it off. It's Buck. Up top to Jesso. Jesso operating at the top of the house. Buck back through the seam. Finds Pfeiffer. Innes. Pfeiffer. In, out, and near side it's Buck trying to find a way to the net, and he caught the post. Bounced that one in. But then it goes up and out of play. Innes and Pfeiffer. Working it around outside. The umbrella up top. They got a man in behind the net as well. There's a long-range shot from Innes. That one beats Hrushka. That makes it 4-3 Toronto as Cody Innes has his first of the contest, and a long-range shot is relative to where they were positioned. The 5 players on the power play really collapsing in tight, forcing Oshawa to just try and get in those lanes. But some great ball movement there from Toronto. Haig and Heidecker. Battle for the ball at center. Goes back towards the Toronto bench. Near side, Maloney, pressed by Heidecker. They bounce off one another. Maloney turns it back up to the top of the zone. Gareth Haig down low, take Katoni. Snaps it through. Near side, it's Aiden O'Toole. Up for Simons. O'Toole sets a screen for Simons, who sends a pass across the floor. Gareth Haig spinning away, trying to get free. He's got a stick on him still. 1 second to shoot. Gets it off, but stopped by Watson. Harland grabs the bouncing ball. Dunkerley telling him he had time. There's a shot. Stopped by Hrushka. Rebound near side corner. A battle for the ball as the Outlaws are just trying to get free. Nolan sends it ahead. Geddes finds St. John. Parked on the wall. St. John, Gilmore streaking, bouncing shot stopped by Watson. Watson takes a look up the floor. McKenna reaches his hand up in the air, grabs the ball, works it into the zone. McKenna solo, so he'll post up, send it across as the Outlaws can press the Monarchs while they're trying to get their changes in. Veltman with speed up the floor, drops it off near side. Webb in tight, tries to bounce one 5-hole, stopped by Watson. Whiteford pressing McKenna. He flips one over his shoulder down the floor looking for Thompson. He got a piece of it, but couldn't control the ball. Nick Webb flips it into the zone. Tate Katoni in the far corner. Katoni scanning. He's got Whiteford with him, goes up top to Simons. Down low in the corner, it's St. John. For Katoni, stepping in, he's got a lane to the net. Takes a stick up high. Can't get a shot off, but a power play coming up here for Oshawa. And there's a late shot from Whiteford. The Monarchs do not like that. Kaminga going right after Whiteford after he fired that shot after the conclusion of the shot clock. The officials having a chat. So Kaminga definitely in the box, and it looks like 2 for a slash, 2 for a dead ball foul, and a delay of game penalty. So it is a 4-minute power play for Oshawa, as we're seeing it on the board right now. Okay, so Whiteford is the delay of game. So we will have some 5-on-4, I believe. Well, it should be 4-on-3. Or sorry, 4-on-4. Yeah, 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. And then Oshawa will head to a power play. Toronto, oh no, so an extra player is going into the box, so it will be 5-on-4 for Oshawa. Just 2, well, we're still getting things set up on the clock. 2 minutes. Simplifies things a little bit. Simons at the elbow, up top for St. John. St. John sends it far side. Katoni, they switch off. Katoni with some time. You'll find Simons. Shot stopped by Watson. Ball bounces up into the slot, being battled over right around center. The Monarchs come up with it, inch it across the line. The Toronto bench calling attention to John St. John, who was hanging out deep in the Monarch zone, sending a man back in coverage. Pfeiffer working in the zone solo against 4 Outlaws. His shot is handled by Rushka. Tate Katoni brings the ball up the floor. Near side Simons. Back up to the top of the house, Katoni for St. John. That pass out of his reach is going to bounce back into the Outlaws zone. Thompson, it's a free lane to the ball and wide open in front, tries to find Buck. A chance stopped by Rushka. Perhaps some miscommunication there from Oshawa as the player just headed off to the bench after losing possession of the ball. No one was back in coverage. Simons for St. John, back up top, Katoni. St. John snaps a shot on net, stopped by Watson. Pass ahead, grabbed by Harland. Katoni, the lone man back. Harland goes to the net, stopped by Hrushka. Ball bounces in behind. Harland still fighting for it. Catoni with 12 seconds remaining on the power play. Brings the ball ahead and finds St. John. Just a minute and 15 seconds to go here in the half. Catoni. Back to 5-on-5. Pass through the seam. Gareth Haig with a shot. Watson squeezes that one and holds on. Ethier gets things started. Snaps it up the floor. Lemmy. Worked into the far corner. Pfeiffer. Zips it through. Buck in front looking for McKenna. That one out of his reach. Pfeiffer grabs it in the corner. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Buck in tight. Scores. And there's the hat trick for Tanner Buck. Made a trio of moves as well at the top of the crease. And beat Lane Hrushka to give the Toronto Monarchs a 2-goal lead here. Now 5-3 with 44 seconds left to play in the second quarter. The Monarchs bench communicating to their players. They want them to push the pace a little bit here and maybe try and grab another one with time running out here in the half. They get the ball deep in the Oshawa zone. Grab possession. They got a lot of time to work with here. Pfeiffer feeling some pressure from Ryan Haig, keeping his stick on him. Pfeiffer walks towards the wall, has some space. And is setting screens all over the place for him. Near side Buck. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Sent through. Gesso whips one wide. And now Oshawa takes a timeout with 8.7 seconds to play in the half. They'll have a chance to draw something up. 8.7 seconds, plenty of time to try and figure something out and execute something as well. They'll have Lane Hrushka on the bench. We'll take this time to take you through the standings right now in the Arena Lacrosse League. I've mentioned already in the broadcast, but the Whitby Steelhawks at 9-1 are leading the way in the ALL East. The Brampton Express 7-3, but they are on a 5-game win streak. Then the Peterborough Timbermen 6-4 right now. The Paris Riverwolves in 4th place, also 6-4. The Oshawa Outlaws right now in 5th place with a record of 4-6 on a 2-game winning streak. The Toronto Monarchs 4-6 in 6th place. Six Nations Snipers 3-7 on a 5-game losing skid, and the Oswegan Bears 1-9 at this stage in the season. It'll be Gilmore starting things off with 8.7 seconds to go here. Gilmore works it in, finds Catoni back in front, intercepted, and Kaminga tries to take a look at the open net. Catoni whips one in, but that'll be the conclusion of the opening half. 5-3 the score as the Monarchs lead. The Outlaws will be back for the third quarter. We're all set for the second half between the Oshawa Outlaws and Toronto Monarchs here. As we stand, it's 5-3 Monarchs. Goals in the first half coming from Cody Innes, Tanner Buck with a hat trick, and Parker Pfeiffer for the Monarchs. And then John St. John, Alex Simmons, and Jake Gilmore with the goals for the Outlaws. I'm Dan Malta on the call this evening here at Children's Arena in Oshawa. Week 11 Arena Lacrosse League action between two teams butted up against one another in the standings, both 4-6. If Toronto wins, they will move past Oshawa in the ALL East standings. Pass through the seam as St. John was looking for Simons. That misses the mark. Ahead, Thompson grabs the ball, takes a look back, and finds Pfeiffer at the top of the zone. Played through. Buck in front. Jennings with a chance. That's stopped by Hrushka. Brought forward by Nolan. Dishes near corner, St. John. Back up to the top, Gilmore returns the ball for St. John into the middle, has a shooting lane, chooses another, and scores. John St. John, second of the game. That makes it 5-4. A quick strike to start the third quarter for the Outlaws. You can see St. John just working through, had a shooting lane that opened up and closed really fast, moved on to the second gap, got that one through. Had to be hard for Watson to track that through traffic, rather. Whiteford takes the ball from Connell, back up top, Gareth Haig. Into the corner, Gilmore snaps it up top, gets it back. Whiteford with a chance, but the ball bounces out of play off the shot. Parker Pfeiffer backpedaling into the zone, kicks it back across the floor. Gesso, Buck, up top, Innes for Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer up top, steps in, shot blocked by Ryan Haig, takes the stick from Pfeiffer as well and gets it up the floor quickly to Jake Gilmore. Gilmore fakes the pass, holds on, plays up top to Catoni, then gets it right back. Switching off with Catoni, sending it across, the ball bobbled up there, but Haig recovers. Still 11 seconds on the shot clock. Catoni, stutter step out of the corner, shot at the side, that goes wide, collected in front, and stopped by Watson. Aiden O'Toole with the chance there. Thompson back the other way, shooting. That one's blocked. Nolan got in the way of that shot. The Monarchs take the ball right back. Pfeiffer works it in for Thompson. You notice just 8 players in the zone right now, in behind the play. Catoni and Kaminga. And Buck just dunked that one from in behind the net with one hand on his stick. Sneaky goal. Buck's 4th of the game. Something that Oshawa has been doing a few times this game, just leaving an offensive player down the floor. That forces the Monarchs to leave somebody back in coverage, but leave some space in the zone. Somebody who can use their feet like Tanner Buck. St. John plays it into the corner. Tate Catoni speeds out into the slot, takes a shot, stopped by Watson. Watson, quick back the other way. Dunkerley in stride, shoots, scores, bounces one 5-hole. Pair of goals in response for the Monarchs as it's now 7-4. Nice look from Watson to find Dunkerley. Kaminga and Ryan Haig on the draw. Haig takes it through, snaps a shot wide of the net. He was closely checked while rushing into the zone. Andrioli plays the ball into the corner up top. That's going to be over and back. Lemmy, quick on the ball. Pressed into the corner by Veltman. They continue to battle down low. Veltman trying to hook that ball free. Played back up top, Pfeiffer sends a pass through the seam. That's out of reach for Buck. Veltman collects it and plays it ahead. Blackmere dishes the ball off. Gilmore with it. Sends it back up top to St. John. St. John into the corner. Catoni sends it up top. Simons working out of the corner. John St. John. The ball rolls free. The Monarchs collect it and turn it up the floor through the rafters onto the stick of Pfeiffer. Makes a spin move at the top of the crease. That goal waved off as Pfeiffer tiptoed into the crease of Lane Hrushka. Connell for Cattoni. Take Cattoni, brings the ball off the boards, drops it off St. John. In behind the net, they score. Jake Gilmore stretching out, staying out of the crease, burying that one now 7-5. On Gilmore's second of the game. Heidecker back on the draw. Ryan Hegg for Oshawa. Bouncing ball collected by Toronto. Heidecker plays it down low. Pfeiffer pressed by Andrioli. Plays it up top. And it's going to be Oshawa ball. Brought back the other way, Veltman for Andrioli. Played ahead to Gareth Hegg. St. John. Quick give and go. He darts through the lane. Whiteford pressed up at the top of the zone, so he plays it back down to St. John. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Pass through, intended for Cattoni. He couldn't control it, so the Monarchs pick it up, bring it back the other way. Kaminga at the side of the net, powers through. Webb deters him from pressing on further. Back up top, Buck. He finds Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer working off of Buck. He's got a screen now from Innes. Pfeiffer with the shot, stopped by Hrushka. Webb digging away for the ball in the corner, but Pfeiffer possesses it for Toronto. Sent through. Buck scores! Through the screen from the outside. It's the 5th of the game for Tanner Buck. Eight 5 now. As the Monarchs have got off to a great start here in the second half. Running through onto the ball, Andrioli off the draw. Drops the ball off in the corner, then heads off for his change. Simons plays it to the boards. Whiteford across the zone. Nolan to Whiteford. Back across. Simons down low. Gareth Hegg brings it up top. Sends one low. That will be off of Watson, out of play. So we should see 20 seconds on the shot clock. Gilmore walks it out of the corner, sends it through, finds Cattoni. Cattoni circling the wagon, spins and scores. Tate Cattoni. Outlaws back within 2. First of the contest for Cattoni. Kaminga steals the ball from Hagg on the draw. Thompson brings it across center, plays the ball into the corner. The Monarchs pressing towards the net. Getting out to block that shot was Nolan. Buck grabs it, plays it out front, is turned over. Whiteford, the lane to the net, solo. Whiteford in alone, stopped by Watson. Bouncing ball up the side, grabbed by Nolan. He's pressed against the boards, but works into space. Kuminga still trying to get back onto him. St. John. To Haig. Aiden O'Toole calling for it far side. Shot blocked, bouncing around, and the Monarchs bring it back the other way. Pfeiffer sends it across the zone, gets it right back. Pfeiffer, side of the net, in tight, stopped by Hrushka. Back the other direction. Strozier grabs the ball right in front of his bench. Ahead to St. John. There's a shot from Gareth Haig, held on to. Watson floats one ahead, nice pass. Heidecker reaches back, grabs it, drops it off for Buck, scores! Watson to Heidecker to Buck, and the back of the net. And the 6th of the game for Tanner Buck. Ben Heidecker, though, one hand on his stick, really choked up, leaned back over his shoulder. CFL might come calling for Ben Heidecker making catches like that. Heidecker nearly pressed back over center. Pass broken up, Nolan fighting for it. Up the wall, Ryan Haig just gonna let that one go back over and get the easier possession than fighting for it. And when we come back, the Oshawa Outlaws will be on a power play here with 6:58 to go in the third quarter. Oh yeah, we'll come back. Yeah. So Rob Harris was in the box for the Monarchs, and we heard delay of game announced over the PA system, but Harris is now back on the Monarchs bench. No penalty up on the board. And each team with 5 on the floor. St. John gets things started. Sends it into the zone. Catoni brings it through. St. John's going to be going to the box now. Harlan could be going with him depending on how the next few moments go. And it looks like Harlan is going for a hold. And that's going to be the only call. So Oshawa does get their power play after all. St. John into the corner, operating at the top of the house. Behind the back pass finds Tate Catoni. Catoni for St. John, plays it in behind. Across the seam, Catoni holding St. John. Plays it in behind the net. Simons steps in, tries to twist one on net. That bounces off the end boards, out of play. It'll be Monarchs ball. Bring it out of the zone, Pfeiffer. Sends it in deep. Monarchs will just keep things to the outside here. Jennings finds Buck. Zips one through to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer just letting things develop around him. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Ball knocked out of his hands. And it's going to be Veltman bringing it ahead. St. John, the fake handoff to Catoni. Finds Simons. In behind the net, up to Simons once again. St. John, top of the house. Behind the back pass, Catoni, that one just edged the post. So there'll be a reset. Simons up top for St. John. Fakes the pass, underhand shot, nearly cashes Gareth Haig. The ball bounces all the way back down the floor. 5:10 to go here in the third quarter. Jesso dishes it off. 18 seconds left in the kill. So the Monarchs will just hold on as long as they can here and get back to even strength. Thompson with Veltman checking him closely. Thompson works it in deep. Veltman tracking every move he makes. Thompson for Jesso. Move in tight. What a goal. Just as they went back to even strength, Ty Jesso picks up his first of the game. That makes it 10-6 Toronto. Haig and Kuminga on the draw. Ryan Haig plays it ahead looking for Gareth Haig. Watson grabs it and sifts that one through the rafters, connects with a pass, and it scores. What a pass from Joel Watson. It's hard to say it was on purpose when it goes through so many rafters, but really impressive. Gambling making that pass, but it worked out. Off the draw, Geddes fights through onto it, loses the ball as it goes up in the air. It's going to be possession for the Monarchs. Ennis sends it across the zone, gets it right back, scores! Second of the game for Cody Ennis, as the Monarchs keep it coming. Battle off the draw. Harland grabs the ball. Webb on his back, dishes it off. Pfeiffer tucks one. No, that one stayed out. Looked like he had the far corner. Now some urgency from Oshawa. Nolan takes a look over his shoulder, trying to find Gilmore. That is out of his reach, over and back. Thompson hustles onto the ball. Sends it across. That pass misses the mark. Veltman comes up with it. Veltman for Whiteford. McKenna on his back. Drops the ball off for Simons. Off the wall, Whiteford in front, St. John. Stopped by Watson. Rebound into the corner. And the Monarchs will try and bring it up the floor. Andrioli battling along the near side boards with Dawson Battersby. Pfeiffer has the ball. Andrioli gets a chop in on Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer for Buck. Buck sends it through the seam. Pretty passing play there. As the Monarchs get up on the board again. That was Ty Jesso scoring from the side of the net, his second of the game.
Defense on defense.
3:09 to play here in the third quarter. Ryan Haig scoops the ball off the draw and heads right into the zone. Kuminga right on top of him. A battle in the corner now. Ethier trying to come up with it. Ryan Haig chopping away, trying to scoop the ball. Ends up being Kuminga. Playing it ahead for Lemmy. And a penalty behind the play will go against Toronto. Oshawa with a power play coming up here. 2:49 to play in the third quarter. Katoni's going to start with the ball. Simons, Whiteford, St. John, and Gareth Haig out there with him on the power play. Haig posted up in behind the net. St. John near side up for Katoni, top of the house. Katoni shoots. That one cracks the bar and bounces back down into the Oshawa zone. Hrushka leaves the ball for Katoni. St. John, just 11 seconds on the shot clock here. St. John at the elbow, sends it through the seam. Simon's shot is held on to by Watson. And Watson sends it up the floor. Katoni dealing with Thompson and McKenna. There's a shot stopped by Hrushka. St. John. Whiteford down low with him. Simons, Katoni out there as well. And Webb. St. John takes the pass from Katoni, sends it back up top. He steps through, pass going behind the net, misses the mark. And now an interception coming back onto the ball as Webb hustled onto it. 40 seconds still to work with on the power play. Katoni takes a pass, sends it up top, St. John. Dishes off Simons. Katoni in front. He's checked closely. Buck picks up the ball. He's off to the races. Or pardon me, that's Devin Dunkerley. Dunkerley up to the top of the zone. Pfeiffer. Shot clock matches the penalty kill right now, so. Bounce pass to Buck. Oh my goodness. A huge hit from Lane Hrushka. Some creativity there from the Monarchs. Hrushka saw it coming from a mile away, stepped out and laid the boom. With 35 seconds remaining in the quarter, the Monarchs bring it ahead. Devin Dunkerley finds Parker Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer up top. Buck with a shot, stopped by Hrushka. Battle at the side of the net, and it goes into the corner. Loose ball collected by Pfeiffer, trying to find Buck. Andrioli bounces it ahead, and it's going to be Monarchs' ball. There'll be a timeout for Toronto. Just 11.6 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Toronto Monarchs leading the Oshawa Outlaws 13-6, their second meeting of the season. The Outlaws taking their initial matchup back in January. A decisive win for the Outlaws in that one. Certainly facing a different test here from that game where it was 19-9, the final for Oshawa. Outlaws off to a good start to the game, but the Monarchs have been answering back non-stop. And Tanner Buck leading the way with 6 goals so far. Nearly had a 7th as Parker Pfeiffer tried to play the bounce pass off the end boards to him. Almost picked it up in stride, but just a couple of plays ago, Hrushka stepped out of his crease and just drilled Buck. We'll see what Toronto has drawn up here with 11.6 to play. Watson on the bench, extra runner on the floor. Cohen Jennings holds it up top. Buck in the far corner. Innes with it up top. Buck in the corner, in front. Pfeiffer spins one on net. Hrushka holds on. And fires one down the floor, looking for that empty net a little bit late. And nothing doing there on the attempt. 13-6 the score with 15 minutes to play. We'll be back for the start of the fourth quarter. 13-6 the score as the Toronto Monarchs lead the Oshawa Outlaws here at the start of the fourth quarter. Some heavy lifting to be done here from the hometown Outlaws in this remaining 15 minutes. And they start off with the ball. Veltman pressed up top, dishes the ball to Whiteford. Gareth Haig runs it up to the top of the zone, finds Simons. Simons shoots that one off the post and out of play. So Oshawa will get the ball back, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Simons up to the top of the zone, Catoni into the corner. Gareth Haig looking for something. He's checked closely by Thompson, zips it across the zone, pass in tight. Whiteford tries to go 5-hole. Watson just stands his ground, stops that one with the stick. McKenna, lane to the net, tries to make a pass. Pair of players collide and get in front of the shot. Back the other way, Connell in transition, dishes it off, gets it right back side of the net. No shot coming, plays it back up to the top of the zone. Nick Webb sends it across for Gilmore. Catoni up top for Simons. Pass in front. St. John gets the Outlaws back on the board. 13-7 the score now. Third of the game for John St. John. Haig and Kuminga set to face off. Haig scoops it, Kuminga right back onto him, steals the ball. Cody Ennis fires the ball in deep. Ball collected by Oshawa. A chance for Simons, he's got to be quick. Tries to twist one near side. Watson holds on, makes the save. The Monarchs will turn it up the floor. Near side, Harris. Plays it down low, Tanner Buck. Into the corner. And back up top, Lemmy. Dishes for Dunkerley, pass intercepted. Veltman. Geddes with him. Now Geddes with the ball. Dropped off for Whiteford. Gilmore along the boards collects it. St. John and Whiteford work into the middle. Gilmore down low for Gareth Haig. Brings it up top. He's got a lane to the net. Haig bounces, scores. A pair of unanswered goals for the Oshawa Outlaws, and it's 13-8. First of the game for Gareth Haig. Kuminga and Haig on the draw once again. 12:42 to go. As the benches say, a good battle on the draw. Harlan comes up with the ball, sends it across, and Dunkerley with a shot. Hrushka with the save. Monarchs maintain possession. Whiteford hanging out in the offensive zone. He's shadowed by Jason McKenna as the Monarchs working around in a 4-on-4 situation. There's a shot sent wide of the net as the shot clock expires. Nolan brings it through. Drops it off Simons. Catoni into the corner. Whiteford back down low, St. John. Spins off a check, brings it back up top. Near side Simon, 7 seconds on the shot clock. Whiteford gets a shot, Watson makes the save. Battersby, bring it down the floor, dishes. It's a chance in tight, stopped by Hrushka. And the ball bounces out of play. Menzies to Pfeiffer, shot handled, rebound collected. Pfeiffer in front, jumps up in the air, tucks it home. Second goal of the game from Parker Pfeiffer, a pretty one as he went airborne and slipped that one underneath Lane Hrushka. Now 14-8 Toronto. Mason Kaminga, Ryan Haig on the draw. 11:17 to play now. Nolan with Innes on his back. Ryan Haig in some discomfort, dropped his stick. He's heading right off to the bench. Veltman collects the loose twig and brings it off for him. The Outlaws working around the offensive zone. Simon's underhand shot stopped by Watson. Rebound grabbed by Lemmy. He bounces it ahead. Innes looks in deep, just peels off. As he didn't see anything developing. A penalty coming up against Oshawa. We've got 15 seconds on the shot clock. Extra runner on the floor. Jennings down low to Buck. Zips it through. Held on to in behind. They score. Cody Innes jumps from in behind and tucks it home. He's got a hat trick now as well. That makes it 15-8. And now Watson is having some words with the Outlaws bench. Was right up there talking with Aiden O'Toole, and they continue to have a conversation. So Oshawa comes out of all that with a power play. Ten and a half to play. 15-8 the score as the Monarchs lead the Outlaws. Ryan Haig started a little early on the draw. So the Monarchs will have a chance to kill off 30 seconds right away here. Sort of legal cross-check is the penalty. Two penalties canceled out plus one. Shot from Buck while short-handed. That's stopped. Veltman plays it ahead to Andrioli. 1:25 to work with on the power play as Andrioli leaves the ball for St. John. Simmons at the elbow, up for St. John, top of the house. Gareth Haig takes the ball from Gilmore. Back up top, St. John, over the shoulder pass. Gareth Haig with the shot, stopped by Watson. Watson flips it down the floor. That connects. Pass through. McKenna, his chance thwarted by Hrushka. Outlaws bench calling for the players to get it up the floor. They do so. St. John. 45 seconds on the power play, 15 seconds on the shot clock. St. John, top of the house. Gets it back from Simons. Gilmore down low as well. Webb in behind the net. There's a shot that misses wide. Bounces down the floor. Foot race onto this one. Thompson's going to get onto it as the shot clock expires for Oshawa. Thompson just waiting for somebody to press him and force the issue. He's content to stay along the boards. Big lead, some time to kill. 10 seconds remaining in the penalty kill. Jennings circles in behind the net. Tiptoes around the crease. Pressed by Veltman. Takes a couple of whacks. Can't get a shot off. Now he fires one. That one handled by Hrushka. Deflected into the corner. Simons finds Katoni. Take Katoni, sends it through, looking for St. John out of his reach. Ethier plays the bounce off the boards and zips up the floor. 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Buck holding along the wall. Battle in behind the net as Veltman was dueling down low. There's a shot from Pfeiffer, stopped by Hrushka. Rebound collected by Oshawa as they bring it ahead. Geddes dishes down low, Gareth Haig. St. John controls it on the wall. Across the zone, Nolan. Back to St. John. Katoni heading towards the net, trying to set a screen. Haig into space, shoots, too much traffic, and a Oshawa player in the crease. When we come back, 7:22 to play. 15-8 the score as the Monarchs lead the Outlaws. And we're back with 7:22 to play here in the fourth quarter. The Toronto Monarchs leading the Oshawa Outlaws 15-8. It's not completely out of reach, but we are approaching that stage in the game. Pass intended for Buck, that's off his stick. Monarchs walk it out from behind the net. Brought up to the top of the zone. Innes with a shot. That's stopped. Veltman wins the ball battle and sends it up the floor. Connects with Nolan. Nolan trotting it into the zone as the Outlaws complete their changes. Snapped across Katoni. Plays it down low. Now Gilmore walking it off the boards. Shooting. Stopped by Watson. He's going to take a peek. And a tight change there. Pfeiffer trying to settle down that bouncing ball. Geddes pressing Pfeiffer along the boards. Hard screen set there by Lemmy. Pfeiffer holding on with Geddes on his back, and a holding call coming up against Oshawa. Pfeiffer still got a shot off. So Toronto's heading to a power play. With 6:12 to play. Jeff Geddes heading to the box. Ty Jesso will get things started. Just sends it into the zone, gets it back at the top of the house. Played into the corner. Jesso. Jennings. Back through to Buck. Jesso for Pfeiffer. Just great ball movement here until, as I say that, they don't connect on the pass. Now Jesso. Back down for Pfeiffer. Jesso steps in, zips one into the net. Third of the game for Ty Jesso. And it's now 16-8 as the Monarchs are doubling up the Outlaws. That power play marker. 5:45 to go here. Haig and Heidecker on the draw. Controlled by Toronto. Jennings holding on to the ball at the top of the zone. A broken stick on the floor. Brought out of the corner. Menzies sends it across. Jennings with a shot. Hrushka with the save. Lane Hrushka sends it ahead. That pass misses Nolan. It's going to be grabbed by Watson. Ahead for Kuminga. Inside 5 to play. Kuminga into the zone. He's got some space. Just takes it to the net. Shoots it wide. Ball bounces back across center. Andrioli. Quick onto the ball. Plays it into the corner. Gareth Haig. Behind the net, Andrioli. Andrioli sends one on net. Watson with the save. He's going to look up the floor and catch somebody coming out of the bench. Pfeiffer with the shot from the side of the net. That one misses wide. Oshawa turning it up with pace. They've got to get on the attack. Connell into the corner. St. John sends one wide. That goes up and out of play. The Monarchs ball. 4:30 to play now. Thompson trots across center, finds Buck. Looking for his 7th of the contest. Misses wide on that shot. The ball coming back up near center. Lemmy gets pushed across. Webb sends it in for Gareth Haig, who scores. Making it 16-9, the second of the game for Gareth Haig. But likely too little too late here for the Outlaws. As they are simply running out of possessions here with 4:08 to play, down by 7. Still fighting for the ball on the draw, though. Ryan Haig takes it, just heads through. Big collision there. And a holding penalty coming up. Heading to the box, Rob Harris. John St. John coming up to the top to collect the ball and get things started. St. John for Catoni. Work off one another. Gareth Haig down low. Up to the elbow. Catoni up to St. John. Near side. Simon zips it across. Catoni's shot stopped by Watson. In front, Whiteford fires one wide, and that bounces down the floor. Numbers the other way. McKenna with Thompson. He's just going to go to the net. Stopped by Hrushka. Rebound into the corner. Thompson. Not in a hurry here. Just playing keep away. Innes. With Nolan pressing him, will just fire it. Catches the butt end of Hrushka's stick to reset the shot clock, but possession picked up by Veltman for St. John. Midway through their power play now. 3 minutes remain in the fourth quarter. Tony works it out from in behind the net, and the pass sent back to him, but misses the mark. Watson turns it up the floor and connects on that same play. Pfeiffer cuts through, stopped by Hrushka. Well executed play several times from the Monarchs this evening. Shot from Catoni stopped. Simons, his shot goes wide. St. John sends it into the corner. In front, Whiteford. Take Catoni up for St. John. 10 seconds remaining in the power play. Simons in front. Whiteford with the shot. Watson makes the save. Gareth Hagg collects the rebound. Catoni up for St. John. He's pressed by Ethier. A chance in tight. Simons scores. Now 16-10 with 1:57 to go. Second of the game for Alex Simons. Stranger things have happened, but 6 goals in 1:57 is a big ask. Off the draw, it's Harris carrying it in deep, getting a quick shot off. And a slashing call is made. So Maloney will head to the box for 2 or less. It'll certainly be less than 2 with 1:47 left to play here. Pfeiffer just walks it into the zone. Up to Gesso. Looks like these two teams might be content to run out the clock here. Both just with their feet planted now. The Monarchs will set things in motion. Buck bounces one through at the end of the shot clock. And Oshawa will turn it up the floor. Geddes looking for Nolan. Has to leap up to try and collect that pass. It's out of his reach. Ethier battling along the wall, knocks the ball free, but it's into the hands of Geddes as we enter the final minute of play here this evening. Veltman with a long-range shot. Stopped by Watson. He'll bounce it ahead to Ethier. Ethier makes a pass across. Battersby just walks it into the zone. 36 seconds to play. Battersby steps into one. It's stopped by Hrushka. Veltman bounces it ahead. Geddes with a lane to the net. Late in this one. Stopped by Watson, and this should be the final possession of the game. Lemmy just going to hold on to it after crossing center. And it looks as though the Toronto Monarchs are going to take this one. 16-10 the final score. As the Monarchs move to 5-6, the Outlaws move to 4-7 and trade places in the ALL East standings. And change their season series from 1-0 Oshawa to 1-1. Both games in the season series a little bit lopsided with the Outlaws taking the initial meeting. And now the Monarchs answering back. For Zach Hatton on camera, until next time, I'm Dan Malta.